Guys, T-Fit here with FitBully TV. We've got a family and friends program coming up, and I'm putting together what I want to draw perspective. So let's say you've wanted to be a part of the FitBully Friends or FitBully family, and you've always wanted a dog. For one, price has definitely gone up, but even more importantly, I cannot keep, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 dogs. I can't keep 12 dogs, but I know the process to getting to just generation 3. Now let me take a step back. You want in on a FitBully, you want to be a part of the education, you want a dog from a breeder that you trust, you want someone to be there for you, mentor, whatever that looks like. This is probably the only way you're going to be able to do it, because even when I sell dogs that we do breed for, to go to homes, I tell people, here, put your kennel on there, never talk to me again. Now they call me, to be clear. They go do some calling. Hey man, I got this. Hey man, what you doing? Hey man, what you think about this? Hey man, did I tell you just take care of the dog? But let me draw perspective. Shout out to Sin City Pits. Him and I just did a great live, and he drew some perspective. I mean, hell, even I took notes. So when you get to, and I'll tell him, don't worry, you gotta show him that. When you get to your 3rd generation, you start getting consistency and traits. If you've been around here, I told you our bloodline won't start until we get to our 6th generation. At generation 3, I've kind of got an idea of what I like, and we're starting to see stuff that we like, and then we start doubling down on it. The challenge is making sure you don't blend the dog so much that you have nowhere to go. What does that mean? Well, Amira's related to nobody, Cha-Cha's related to nobody, and Nala's related to nobody. Once we get here and here, we've got 3 people who are related. Hera, Kara, and Cha-Cha, they all have siblings, and in this case, these are, we would call them litter mates, but they're siblings, straight out the same litter. So I can build a line off of here, and I can build a line off of here, and I can build a line off of here. Well, let's take a step further. Out of each one of these situations, what traits am I looking for? Well, Nala, her mom and dad, they're a little easty-westy. So what do? You take Nala to a solid boy, and you keep both girl and boy. A girl oftentimes is going to pass down the traits, so she'll be more valuable. When we're taking Amira is one of our healthiest dogs. I mean, let me just be honest and saying, Stan's been feeding her dog food for 3 years. She done got pregnant, had healthy pups, and ain't got no skin problems. I ain't with the dog food, but at the end of the day, nigga, that bitch is fine. So you say, which is the healthiest one? That bitch there is the one who I need the help from. When you take a bigger dog to a smaller dog, as we've also learned from Chris Cabra, I believe is how you say his name, over at Sin City, you end up tightening up some features, tighter skin, tighter feet, etc. So Amira now, because we lost Lola's gone. She's dead. She got to be bred twice. And she only, watch him, he's right behind your foot. She was only supposed to be technically bred once, maybe twice, and that's if I had the dogs that I needed. I don't have the dogs I need, but I got the dogs that I kind of need. Ego's son, I'm keeping out of here. The girl is already sold, so I can't keep this girl. And I unfortunately, I could keep a boy, but her second breeding, because she still falls under generation 2. So these are all generation 1. Amir came from somebody. Cha-Cha was bred to a dog named Balu, who you guys love. I don't know why you like that funky fucking, we're not even gonna go there. Cha-Cha was bred to Balu, who's not a dog for me, but she was bred to Zar. Balu and Zar, not my dogs I chose though. So Cha-Cha's the first dog, generation 1, of me trying to get to my generation 3 so I can get to generation 6. So our first generation are all dogs that I was like, I think these will match well, and we'll get some decent dogs. And for those people that have FitBullies, shout out to all you, because you guys got some good looking dogs. I've seen them. You guys have shared amazing pictures if you show me the progress. Now, with generation 1, that's me putting together some stuff and saying, well, let's see what happens. And so far, so good. Even though we've had some bullshit take place. Generation 2 will be me taking all these dogs who I now have developed epigenetically, boom, 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 boom. And I'm saying, okay, this is what we got to do, and this is who we got to keep, because these are full FitBullies at this point. Generation 3, it ain't nothing but FitBullies with a few outcrosses. So this generation is the most important, but this is generation 2 I got to get through. And just in generation 2 of FitBully, there'll be 12 dogs that I need to keep to make sure I get to this idea of a dog 6, 7, 8 years from now. Jesus. You guys, man, I tell you, it's a lot harder than it looks. And there's a lot of losses that come with it. So there are roughly, I'm keeping the boy out of this litter. Amir's going to get bred again, probably to Frank the Tank or another dog that I might find. Cha-Cha, she's going to have to, I'm going to have to keep a girl and boy off of her. Jesus. And I'll probably have to keep the girl. Yeah. And then somebody else going to keep the boy. Nala, I think Jamarcus is keeping a girl there. And that's the one with the tightest feet, the tightest features, to be clear. And then the boy that he might have to keep, that's to be able to outcross somewhere. So then when we do pull some dogs from here, we could take him back to a smaller dog. So let's say I take Cha-Cha or Nala to a dog that's, Nala's 21 inches at the withers. She's a good 20.
20.
Here you go, a good 20. Then if I take her to a 19-inch boy, she'll tighten up some of his features and she's a little loose lip herself. So then what would be my trick? If we get a boy or a female who's got super tight feet, I'd take a mirror, an ego pup, to who? The girl that you have to keep, the girl you have to keep from this litter. So we got to keep this girl, which is full FitBully, then take that girl to up here. So I keep mixing and crossing over, and I've got it all written down, but I start getting myself a headache. I said, oh, damn. I'll just do the second generation of this shit. There's 12 fucking dogs. Well, I'm going to put these Negroes. Well, opportunity knocks, and when it knocks, I'm telling you, better answer that damn door. You better answer that damn door, okay? So here's some requirements. Let's say you say, man, I want to be a part of the FitBully family. I want to see your vision come alive. I want to be a part of the vision, and I love what you do, your goals and everything. Be very clear. This is all expenses. By now, you know we spend a ton of money, and I have over the years, and now almost which I kept track after reading with Chris, because you go, how much money do you spend on feeding the dogs? I honestly don't know, but I did it, and now we get food delivered. And I still go spend money to make sure the dogs are good. You know, especially with a dog, unfortunately, that's dealing with cancer. That's a whole nother process. So I've got to keep 12 dogs just in generation 2. I'm probably going to have to keep half that many in generation 3. And it keeps cutting itself down each generation as we get closer and closer to an idea with outcrosses available. Had I chose to sell Cha-Cha, let me tell you this, guys, you didn't know this. Family had reached out and says, man, my wife really likes that lilac and tan one. I said, she is nice, isn't she? And he says, yeah. Well, we would want her, but we wouldn't want to breed her, so we'd get her fixed. I said, I don't think that's a good idea. And I said, I actually was trying to sell him Lola. Was it Lola? I thought I was trying to sell him Lola. And she was like, no, we don't want that one. We want that. I said, I'm sorry. I said, I can't make up my mind, me being indecisive. But I just don't think that that's the best idea. I don't know what was going on. I gotta pace myself here. And it just so happened, we look at the ladder, Lola was the best dog, Cha-Cha's the living dog. I still have a Cha-Cha opportunity. Lola opportunity is gone. And she was, again, female-wise, God, that dog was gorgeous. She had the traits. She could be athletic, a little bit more work. Man, she had the stuff that I was looking for as being completely balanced. And there's things I could have added to just, man, she even had the tight skin, tight lips, like she was good. So in every one of these breedings, especially in this particular generation 2, I kind of got to keep both. And sometimes I might have to keep 2 girls. I mean, if we breed Kara, I think the dude that has Kara wants to keep a boy, and her grandmother, great-grandmother, is Victoria's Secret. So if any of the dogs show signs of magic, I'm gonna double back on that magic. Hey, I'm finna double back, as Big X was said. Take one of the girls from Kara breeding to Ego's son, which will technically be a form of an uncle, and that uncle and her top parts of the pedigree kind of look the same. but very different. And the difference is actually on the mom's side because the dogs have been bred down, meaning smaller size, more 16 to 17 inches, more 17, 18-inch dogs, but capable. Let me just get to the point, people. You want to be a part of the FitBully family and get involved, potentially get a dog, and you're not on the waiting list, which means you would get my first picks on all litters moving forward. You have to interview. We have to have extensive interview, FaceTime conversations. You will basically be mentored for the next 2 to 3 years because it's going to require a lot of work on your part as well. You have to be 30 years and older, people. And you have to have I don't have it on here, but I did write it up here, a full-time fucking job. Let me make sure. Let me just put that up here. Full-time job. I'm not dealing with nobody who's desperate or thinks they need a dog to pay their bills. That is not the mission here. You'll turn around and you will send $3,000. That $3,000 secures that you get one of these dogs, no matter what. Now you've got to be patient because I ain't rushing no breedings. The beauty about it is I think over the next 2 years, we got to get all these breedings done. So Nala's 2. Hera will be 2 going into next year. Cha-Cha's already 2. Amira's going on, she's 3 and some change, so she's got 2 breedings back to back. Nala's gonna have 2 breedings back to back. Cha-Cha, depending on what happens, we're gonna breed her back to back. Kara, she's gonna be coming up on a year, and I know for a fact Buddy wants to breed her, so she's gonna get bred back to back. So within the next 2 years, all of these dogs could very much exist. And we have a question mark next to Hera, but even Chris and I thought, I know how to breed Hera, if I'm being honest. Why? Because I bred a crazy fucking mom. And she's not that crazy. Like, she's off, but that Zara's a fucking nut. And I mean, the dude I ain't gonna, he know what he was doing, but he know what he was doing. So when he told, I was like, yo, why is this? He's like, oh man, she was mad feisty. She could get the food. She was always fighting. I'm like, oh man, you let this go on, Lord Jesus. So now I've got a fucking hoodlum. and she's a loving dog, literally probably the most loving dog I got. But when it comes to the other dogs, man, she's like, what's up? And that's a whole nother story. So I know how to breed Hera and dial her back. And I think there's still an opportunity there. I think there's something there still. And I can run the risk because it's not that big of a risk. I don't think, and I do not believe in my heart of hearts, whatever's left in my heart, that she would hurt a person. And that's, if I thought she would do that, that other video would have been a different video. I'd be like, hey guys, I hate to see this, but Hera's gotta go. You know the rules. But that's not the case. She's alive and well. She's rocking. She's loving. She's caring. She's considerate. She's passionate is what we call it. Zara's a passionate dog. All the things that you look for when you, like, if I just had Zara, man, me and her could walk up and down the street. Like, if I just had Zara, my life would be a lot easier. And Zara could walk up and down leash, even as tenacious and tumultuous as she is, she could do whatever I needed her to do. And I could keep her under control because back then, that was my focus. I wanted a hoodlum I could work with, and she's a hoodlum. So that $3,000 says and promises that you never get it back, to be clear. You send it in, tell me that you're in. There's no fucking buybacks in this. You make a choice, that's your choice. Don't ever ask for that shit back, and all this stuff will be contracted, to be clear. You get a rebate. What is a rebate? Meaning if you do a good job, here's I think 50% of the challenges sometimes is people can't sell dogs. Well, if you're here at FitBully TV, man, we can get some dogs sold, especially if they fit bullies. That's not to go to toot my horn. That's because people are like, I trust you. I love your dogs. I love your care. I got to be a part of it. I don't want dogs from no one else. Well, here's the opportunity to do so. So the dogs will be considered pet home because I keep all the paperwork. Nobody get no paperwork, period. You can have paperwork when we've completed our agreement. And then, I'm being honest, you can do what you want with the dog. And I don't mean that throw it in the trash. I mean, hey, if you want to stud it out or do this or do that, you now have leverage. Because you could say, look what I did here. Look what my boy or girl did. You such as, and to a degree, I'll expose and make the dog popular because it gets me to generation 3. But if you are interested, email me at tcochran@mydogsupps.com. I get too many bullshit at my other email. And let's schedule a time to talk. If you're serious, again, you start there. And the full price, so that we cover this part, is going to be at least $7,000. Rebate is this. So my first picks are $7,000, just so we're clear. You don't have to pay the rest of the money until we get closer to the dog. Like every so many months, as you meet my 2-year requirements, you'll pay the rest of the money. Here's the rebate. Everybody loves a good buyback policy. Whatever pups you have and pups are sold, I keep deposits. You get the rest of the money. So realistically, you're investing in a future. You're investing in a business. You're investing because what else a lot of y'all throwing money away. 2 years of work done correctly, and I will make sure every pup is sold. And if you're close in the DFW area, I'll whelp the litter because it's more valuable for me to have the pups and people to see their growth and development. So I wanted to put this together because we get the question all the time, and Lord have mercy, man, when we have litters, it's hundreds and hundreds of questions. Man, I need a dog. You're not getting one. But if there was an opportunity to get a dog, this would be your best bet. And these are some of the requirements. I don't want to talk to no kids just starting. I'm sorry. I need people who have goals, vision, and obligations. I love an obligated person, which is why I like pet homes. Pet home people, what? They like, I just want a dog that's going to live to 15. That was my goal. That was my goal. That is my goal. So I'm more interested in people who don't live and die and don't need the dog other than because they need the dog to be great. So those are some of the small requirements. And maybe some of you who are interested could talk me or convince me. But I need to see trust me, we jump on an interview, be very clear. I'm going to be very clear about what I expect and what the goal is and how important all these dogs are to getting me to generation 6, where realistically it all begins. But stay tuned. Definitely keep taking care of your dogs. tcochran tcochran at mydogsupps.com. Email me there. A scheduled time of interview. You want to get involved. These are the next almost 12 dogs. I'm only keeping a boy from this litter coming up. Amira will be bred again. All these dogs are going to need a place to stay and people who care above everything. Guys, keep taking care of your dogs.